Hey guys, Mark here, and I'm sure by now that you've heard that the cameras on the new 11 series iPhones are actually really good. And for the most part, that's absolutely true. So today I'm going to give you the full rundown on what's great and what's not so great about the cameras on the new iPhone 11. The iPhone 11 has 3 cameras in total. There's an f2.2 selfie camera at the front, which can now shoot video in 4K up to 60 FPS, a 26mm f1.8 wide-angle camera with optical image stabilization, and a 13mm f2.4 ultra-wide-angle camera without optical image stabilization. All 3 cameras are very good overall in a variety of circumstances. Let's take a look at some photos first. There's a huge difference between the wide and ultra-wide cameras in terms of field of view, and you can get some really awesome perspectives. If we do some pixel peeping, it appears as though the ultra-wide is just a touch softer than the wide-angle camera, but the 120-degree field of view more than makes up for it. Colors and contrast are excellent and are nearly identical between the 2 cameras, with very minute changes when switching between the 2. Let's take a detailed look at these 2 photos of my fiance. Both were shot on the wide-angle camera. The first is a great photo overall, although I think it's a little bit overexposed. There's great detail throughout the frame, but there's a little too much going on throughout the photo, so I got a little closer and switched portrait mode on. That photo came out stunning. I'd love for someone to do a blind smartphone versus DSLR camera test, because honestly, this is getting pretty darn close to the photos coming out of my full-size Sony camera. Here's a few more portrait mode photos. My fiance is perfectly in focus in all of them with plenty of detail. There are some minor background blurring mistakes here and there though. It can't do everything. It really doesn't like it when I give it images with a lot of holes like the one in these fences. There are a lot of vivid colors in these images and all of them seem very true to life. I'll be honest with you guys, I love the colors coming out of this camera. The selfie camera is also no slouch, taking excellent and very sharp photos, but I'm not going to focus on that since it was excellent on the previous iPhone XS as well. Night mode is a new addition, however, and it's one we've all been waiting for. This is an image of a room in a rundown building that was nearly pitch black. My brother was with me with his Pixel 3 and he shot the same image in night sight. Both images are great, but I think the iPhone 11's camera comes out slightly on top with colors that are a little more accurate and a sharper image. What I really want to focus on though is video. All of these shots were shot on the iPhone 11 using either the ultra-wide or wide rear-facing cameras in 4K at 24 frames per second. Some were shot with a small gimbal and others were shot handheld. No color grading or any correction was made to any of these videos. These are clips straight from the camera. The front-facing camera is equally good in video. It's wider than last year, and if you wanted to use your phone as a vlogging camera, honestly, I think the iPhone 11 might just be the best phone for it. So this is a video test of the front-facing camera on the iPhone 11, not the Pro, not the Max, just the regular 11, and this is actually the built-in microphone that's on the camera. And if you wanted to vlog with the rear ultra-wide camera, you could do that as well. And this is exactly what it looks like. Again, I'm still using the microphone from the iPhone 11, and it looks pretty good in my opinion. So if you wanted to vlog, you can use that as well. I'm gonna have to do this so that I can get you in the frame. Let's go see the ducks. The video stabilization is also shockingly good. Even the ultra-wide camera that doesn't have any optical image stabilization almost looks like it was shot with a gimbal. Here, I got my fiance to walk ahead of me while I filmed behind her handheld. Even without optical image stabilization, it's not bad. The wide camera is even better since it has that OIS. Totally usable shot and seriously impressive when you consider it was shot handheld on a rough walking trail. Because the cameras are so closely matched in color, if you really wanted to, you could also use the digital zoom, which will switch between the 2 cameras almost seamlessly. Obviously, you'll be introducing some noise, but if you're in a pinch, it'll work. Apple also added slow motion to the front selfie camera, and when combined with the slow motion rear camera, you can get some pretty interesting GoPro-like slow motion sequences. One thing you have to keep in mind with all of this is that it was shot with the default camera app. I have no doubt that once you start using apps like Filmic Pro that can change the bitrate of video files and do things like lock exposure and stuff, that the video on this iPhone will be incredible for a phone camera. That said, I don't think Apple is focusing enough on the pro features of the camera app. They're leaving too much on the table here. I know that they're trying to simplify it as much as possible, but we really need a more in-depth camera app that lets us control every aspect of the camera in both photo and video. They added a few little features like the press and hold record mode and the much anticipated night mode, but Apple could do much better on the software side of things here. One question a few people have asked is if I think that I'll miss the telephoto camera from the iPhone 11 Pro and the 11 Pro Max, and to be honest, Yeah, probably, but not very often. Given what I've seen from the ultrawide camera, I think that I'll use that much more often than I would use the telephoto, but there's no denying the fact that having a telephoto camera, especially for portraits, would be handy every now and again. What do you guys think of the cameras on the 11? Let me know in a comment down below or vote in a poll up here. I'm curious to hear your opinion. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to support my content, and as always, have a great day.